Let me start with something most people over 60 do not know. According to the CDC, more than 1 in 3 American adults has prediabetes, and 8 in 10 of them have no idea they have it. That is over 115 million people walking around with quietly elevated blood sugar, slowly damaging their blood vessels, nerves, and organs year after year without knowing it. And here is the part that should get your attention. Some of the foods doing that damage right now are sitting in your kitchen. Foods that look perfectly normal. Foods that are sold as healthy. Foods you have probably eaten today. If you have diabetes, type 1 or type 2, or pre-diabetes, or even if you simply have a family history and want to protect yourself, this video is for you. Today, I am going to walk you through 7 foods that doctors and dietitians most often tell their diabetic patients to avoid or strictly limit. Each one is backed by clinical research. I will tell you exactly why each is harmful and which one, number 6, surprises almost everyone because it is marketed as healthy. Before we get into the list, here is what most people do not understand about how food actually affects your blood sugar. When you eat a food high in refined carbohydrates or sugar, that food breaks down quickly into glucose in your bloodstream. Your pancreas then has to release a large surge of insulin, the hormone that moves sugar from your blood into your cells. For someone with diabetes or pre-diabetes, the system is already strained. Repeated large surges of glucose and insulin are like riding a roller coaster, up, then crashing down, then back up. Over time, this roller coaster damages your blood vessels, your kidneys, your eyes, your nerves, and your brain. The goal of a smart eating plan is simple. Keep that roller coaster as flat and gentle as possible. Now, the 7 foods. Food 1. Sugar-sweetened beverages. Soda, sweet tea, energy drinks, lemonade, fruit punch. These are arguably the single worst category of food for anyone with diabetes. One 20-ounce bottle of regular cola contains around 16 teaspoons of added sugar, more than the daily limit recommended for most adults. And because these calories come in liquid form, they hit your bloodstream within minutes, causing one of the fastest and steepest blood sugar spikes any food can produce. Research from the Framingham Heart Study found that habitual consumption of sugar-sweetened beverages was directly linked to the progression of insulin resistance and prediabetes. If you eliminate just one category from this list, make it this one. Food 2. White bread, white rice, and refined grains. This one surprises a lot of people because we grew up eating these foods daily. But foods made from refined white flour or stripped of their bran, white bread, white rice, white pasta, bagels, regular crackers, most breakfast cereals break down into sugar almost as quickly as candy. A landmark study from Harvard School of Public Health following more than 350,000 people, found that for each additional daily serving of white rice, the risk of developing type 2 diabetes increased by 11%. That is not a small effect. Refined grains are missing the fiber that slows sugar absorption, so they essentially behave like pure sugar inside your body. Food 3. Fruit juice. Even 100% natural. This is one of the most misunderstood foods on this list, especially for people over 60 who grew up being told orange juice is part of a healthy breakfast. Here is the truth. Fruit juice, even pure, no sugar added, 100% juice, causes nearly the same blood sugar spike as soda. The fiber that comes naturally with whole fruit, the fiber that slows sugar absorption, is stripped out during juicing. What remains is essentially fruit-flavored sugar water. An 8-ounce glass of orange juice contains roughly the same sugar as a soda. A whole orange, by contrast, comes packaged with fiber that gently slows the sugar release. Whole fruit, yes. Juice, no. Before we continue with the last 4, let me say one quick thing. If you are finding this useful, the best way you can support this channel is simply to hit that like button and subscribe. I read every single comment, and knowing this information is actually helping people is what motivates me to dig through the research and make these videos for you. And 1 to 2 times a month, I break down the very latest research on a single food, supplement, or habit. So if that is the kind of straight, honest health information you want, make sure you are subscribed so you do not miss it. Now back to it. Food 4. Fried foods and most fast food. French fries, fried chicken, onion rings, donuts, fast food burgers, fried fish. These foods cause 2 separate problems for someone with diabetes. First, they are often breaded with refined flour, which is essentially sugar. Second, the trans fats and oxidized vegetable oils commonly used in commercial frying actively increase inflammation throughout your body and worsen insulin resistance, meaning your cells become less responsive to insulin over time, which is the very mechanism that drives type 2 diabetes. Trans fats do not directly raise blood sugar in the moment, but research has linked them to increased belly fat, decreased good cholesterol, and accelerated cardiovascular complications, which are already the leading cause of death in people with diabetes. Food 5. Sweetened breakfast cereals and flavored yogurts. Many people start their morning thinking they are making a healthy choice. But most boxed breakfast cereals, even ones marketed as healthy, are loaded with added sugar and made from refined grains, setting your blood sugar up for a roller coaster from the first hour of your day. The same goes for flavored yogurts. That fruit on the bottom, or low-fat strawberry yogurt, can contain more added sugar per serving than a candy bar. If you start your day with these foods, you are starting on the wrong foot. Food 6. Artificial sweeteners and diet sodas. This is the surprising one, the food that almost everyone gets wrong. Diet sodas and artificial sweeteners are marketed specifically to diabetics as a safe alternative to sugar. And for a long time, the thinking was simple: zero sugar, zero problem. But emerging research is changing that picture. A large prospective study published in Diabetes Care, the Journal of the American Diabetes Association, found that higher intake of artificial sweeteners was associated with increased risk of developing type 2 diabetes. Other studies suggest that artificial sweeteners may disrupt your gut microbiome and affect how your body responds to glucose. The World Health Organization has now recommended that artificial sweeteners not be used for weight control or to reduce the risk of non-communicable diseases. This does not mean a single diet soda will harm you. But if you have been drinking them daily, thinking you are making the safe choice, the science no longer fully supports that assumption. Water, sparkling water with lemon, or unsweetened tea are safer choices. Food 7. Excessive alcohol, especially mixed drinks and beer. Alcohol affects diabetic blood sugar in 2 opposite and dangerous ways. Beer, sweet wines, and cocktails containing sugary mixes can cause significant blood sugar spikes. But hours later, alcohol can also cause dangerous drops in blood sugar, especially for people on insulin or certain diabetes medications, because the liver becomes busy processing the alcohol instead of releasing stored glucose. The combination of unpredictable spikes and dangerous drops makes alcohol particularly risky for people managing diabetes. Margaret, a 64-year-old from Arizona, was told she had pre-diabetes during a routine checkup. Her hemoglobin A1C, a 3-month average of her blood sugar, was 6.1, just below the diabetic threshold. She was shocked. She did not feel sick. She ate what she thought was a balanced diet. When she sat down with a diabetes educator and went through everything she ate in a typical week, 3 items on this list: daily orange juice, sweetened yogurt for breakfast, and an occasional diet soda, were quietly contributing every single day. She did not need a complete overhaul. She just needed to know what to swap. Within 6 months, her A1C dropped back into the normal range. Here is your overall action plan. Read labels carefully. Avoid liquid sugar in any form, including juice. Choose whole grains over refined grains. Eat fruit instead of drinking it. Cook food at home as often as you can. And work closely with your doctor or a registered dietitian. They can personalize this for you. And in the very next video, I am going to walk you through the opposite side of this conversation. The foods that actually help stabilize your blood sugar, support insulin sensitivity, and protect you from diabetes complications. So if you found this video useful, make sure you are subscribed so you do not miss it. If this video was helpful, please tap the like button. It helps the channel reach more people who need this information. And drop a comment below. Which food on this list surprised you the most? I read every single one. Disclaimer: this video is for educational purposes only and does not constitute medical advice. Always work with your doctor, endocrinologist, or registered dietitian to develop a diabetes care plan that is right for you. Never adjust your medications, insulin, or diet without medical guidance, especially if you take insulin or other diabetes medications, as these foods can interact with your treatment in ways that affect your blood sugar.